Hello everyone, welcome to our Indian polity series in which we are going to cover entire Indian polity for your examination. So let's get started. Today we are going to discuss three topics: Union Parliament, State Legislature and State Executives. So we are going to complete all these three in this lecture. So let's talk about Parliament. Union Parliament is nothing but the legislature. As you know, every government has three organs: legislature, executive and judiciary. In India, Union Parliament is the ultimate legislature, but we follow federalism, quasi-federalism, which means that states have their own legislature. And what is the work of legislature? To frame the laws, to make the laws for whole of India. And for the whole of India, who does it? Parliament does it. So they can make laws on the matters. Matters here means subjects. On the subjects given in Union and the concurrent list under the 7th schedule of the Constitution. And Union Parliament consists of two houses, which is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Fine. Comprises of two houses. Upper house is the Rajya Sabha, lower house is the Lok Sabha. Let's talk about Lok Sabha first. Lok Sabha is known as the lower house of the Parliament, MCQ number 1, or House of People. So which is the House of People? House of People is Lok Sabha again, MCQ number 2. And Popular Chamber, MCQ number 3. Why popular chamber? Because the members are directly elected by the people. So the people of India, when we are above the age of 18, we participate in the election and we vote in the election of Lok Sabha. So we directly choose our representatives. Fine, this is Lok Sabha. Then comes Article 81. Article 81 says that composition of the House of the People, which means composition of Lok Sabha. So composition of Lok Sabha, that it consists of directly elected people. So we participate in the election, we choose our MPs in Lok Sabha from the territorial constituencies. And what is it? Maximum strength 552. This you have to remember. Lok Sabha members are total in number 552, and at present there are 545 members, out of which 543 members are directly elected and 2 are nominated. So this you have to remember, 2 MPs are nominated and rest of 543 are elected, and currently there are 545 members, but maximum strength can be 552. So many MCQs can be formed. Maximum strength is 552. Current strength is 545. Out of which 543 they are directly elected and 2 persons are nominated. Fine, 2 persons are nominated. Two persons are nominated. Fine. Then there is quorum. Quorum means attendance. Is required to make the proceedings of any day valid. Lok Sabha is 1/10. So how many members? 1/10 should be present. They should be attending the proceedings of the Lok Sabha. Then comes Article 84, deals with the qualification of the members. So who can be the member of Lok Sabha? Number 1, any citizen of India who has completed the age of 25. First, you have to be the citizen of India. Second, 25 years of age and does not hold any office of profit. That means no government service, no IAS, IPS, no UPSC, nothing. And yes, so the members of Lok Sabha are elected by universal adult suffrage, which means anyone who is above the age of 18 have right to vote. And first past the post system to represent their respective constituencies, and they hold their seats. So the members and Lok Sabha, both of their term is 5 years. They are elected for the term of 5 years, and after 5 years, when the Lok Sabha is dissolved, the members will not continue to be in the same position. Then Lok Sabha is also known as the House of Leaders. It was constituted for the first time on 17 April 1952, MCQ. First time, the first Lok Sabha of independent India, 17 April 1952, and after first general elections held from 25th October 1951 to 21st February 1952. And who was the first speaker of Lok Sabha? G.V. Vavlankar was the first speaker of Lok Sabha, India's first speaker of Lok Sabha, MCQ, and M.A. Iyengar was the deputy speaker. Fine. So the two houses of parliament must meet at least twice a year. So together, the joint session, they have to be at least twice a year. So the ordinary term of the House of People is 5 years. Lok Sabha's term tenure is 5 years, but it can be extended when MCQ. This 5-year term can be extended during national emergency. So they will, if there is national emergency, they will put a stop, put a pause on the elections that were supposed to be held. But 42nd Constitution Amendment Act extended the normal life of Lok Sabha to 6 years. But later, after 2 years, 44th Morarji Desai government, they reversed this decision and put it under 5 years only. Then who are the presiding officers? It's the speaker. There is one speaker and deputy speaker. Both of them are the presiding officers of the Lok Sabha. Both of them are elected by the members of House. Again, MPs, members of Lok Sabha, they choose who is going to be the speaker and who is going to be the deputy speaker. Fine. Then comes special powers of Lok Sabha. A money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha and not in the Rajya Sabha. This you have to remember for your MCQ. This is your PYQ as well. When it comes, when we talk about money bill, there are 4 types of bill: ordinary bill, money bill, financial bill, part 1, financial bill, part 2. Only the money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha and not the Rajya Sabha. Why? Because it is our money. We are the taxpayers. So whatever money we pay as a tax, it is distributed to make the policies. So this money should be in the hands of Lok Sabha. Why? Because it is us who elect the members of Lok Sabha, and this money should be in the hands of our elected people. That's why. Then the assent of president is required to introduce a money. Another MCQ. President's approval is required. When you want to introduce money bill in Lok Sabha, you have to take prior consideration of president. So these 2 important MCQs in respect of money bill. Then money bill is discussed. Best example of money bill is budget. Money bill example is budget. Then Rajya Sabha has only 14 days to pass the bill when it is presented for its approval, and during this 14 days Rajya Sabha cannot make amendments to the bill. It can only give non-binding recommendations. So money bill introduced in Lok Sabha, discussed and given to Rajya Sabha for the further consideration. Rajya Sabha has 2 weeks time in which Rajya Sabha can only make recommendations, and these recommendations are not compulsory for Lok Sabha to follow. It may accept it and may not accept it. Totally the discretion of Lok Sabha. So once the money bill is presented to the president, she can send bill back to the parliament for reconsideration, but he cannot use suspensive veto. He cannot suspend the money bill. Suspensive veto of president cannot suspend the bill at all. So finally, every bill, as I discussed in the previous class, every bill has to go to the president for its approval before it becomes a law. So when the money bill is passed by both the houses of parliament, It is presented before the president and president cannot suspend the bill. It has to give the assent, or if she wants some recommendations, so he or she can write some recommendations. Okay. Then next important MCQ is no confidence motion can only be initiated and passed in Lok Sabha. This you have to remember. No confidence motion is to see whether the government has majority or not. So it cannot be introduced in Rajya Sabha as the ruling government needs to have the majority in Lok Sabha, not the Rajya Sabha. The ruling government, majority of the ruling government, they are presented in Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. Then comes, there are 3 sessions of Lok Sabha: the budget session in February, monsoon session in July, and winter session November to mid-December. 3 sessions you have to remember. This was all about Lok Sabha. Then next topic, Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is known as upper house, council of states, which earlier it was known as, Lok Sabha was known as house of people. This is known as council of states, and elder house. 3 MCQs for Rajya Sabha. Since we have both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha at the union level, we follow bicameral legislature, which means 2 houses. Bi means 2. Cameral means houses. So we follow bicameral legislature. So the maximum strength of Rajya Sabha is 250 members, and at present maximum strength can be 250. Present they are 245, out of which president nominates 12 members. This you have to remember for MCQ. In Lok Sabha 2 members were nominated by president. In Rajya Sabha 12 members are nominated. Who can be nominated? Who have immaculate experience in literature, science, arts, social service. But they are not entitled to vote in presidential elections as per Article 55. Because again, I told you it can be elected members, not nominated members in the electoral college. In the electoral college of president, only elected members will be there, not nominated members. So members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the assemblies of the state and union territories in accordance with the system of PR system by single transferable vote. As I said, these are indirectly elected. Rajya Sabha members are indirectly elected. These are not directly elected. How they are elected? By MLAs. By MLAs of states and union territories with legislature, and again by which system? PR system, by single transferable vote. So Rajya Sabha meets in continuous session and is not subject to dissolution. Rajya Sabha is never dissolved. The house is never dissolved. But members, 1/3 of the members, they retire after every 2 years. So the tenure of 6 members, the tenure of members is 6 years, sorry. If I am elected today, so for the next 6 years, I can be the member of Rajya Sabha. And then every 1/3 member retire every 2nd year, जिनका 6 year का tenure खत्म हो जाता है. Then comes Vice President is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Who is the chairman? Again, it has Lok Sabha has speaker, deputy speaker, Rajya Sabha has chairman, deputy chairman. Article 84 of the Constitution lays down the qualifications of the membership of Parliament. In case of Parliament, the member should be citizen and 30 years of old, voter of India, and other qualification. Then comes Lok Sabha special power was regarding of money bill and no confidence motion. Let's talk about Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha special power is Article 249 MCQ. Then by a resolution, not less than 2/3 of the majority president voting, Rajya Sabha may empower the parliament on any matter of the state list in terms of national interest. For example, Rajya Sabha has power to make laws mentioned in the state list, whether it comes in for the national interest. So only Rajya Sabha can make laws. Lok Sabha doesn't have any power. So if any subject, for example, agriculture is a state subject, and if agriculture, they want to make laws in agriculture, about agriculture, which requires national interest, that power is only given to Rajya Sabha using Article 249. Then next, Article 312, setting up of all India services, AIS services, UPSC and all, only Rajya Sabha has power to decide. Then Article 75(3), Councils of Ministers is collectively responsible. Councils of Ministers, Modi ji's ministers are responsible. Responsible here means answerable to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, cannot make or unmake the government. So in matters of constitutional amendments, electoral powers, impeachment, emergency, Rajya Sabha enjoys equal power. So in which cases Rajya Sabha enjoys equal power? In terms of constitutional amendments, when we are changing the constitution, Rajya Sabha has equal power. Second, electoral powers, in the election powers. Third, in the impeachment, when we are removing the president, then Rajya Sabha has the equal powers. And when it comes of approval of emergency, then Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha have equal power. This you have to remember for your MCQ. This is Rajya Sabha's special power, and in what cases Rajya Sabha has equal power, so that of Lok Sabha. Then comes attendance. What is the quorum? It is fixed at 1/10, same just like as Lok Sabha, which is 25. And when there is no quorum, chairman is authorized to adjourn the house. When there is no attendance, then the session will be suspended. Okay, fine. Then comes parliamentary privileges. As the members of parliament, you have some privileges. What are they? These are the rights and some immunities enjoyed by parliament and MPs in their individual capacity, which they cannot discharge their function. Fine, so these are the privileges. If I am an MP, so I enjoy certain privilege, and it is classified into two groups, enjoyed by the members individually, which is individually, and as a collectively. So means class monitor, individual have the power and the entire class has a separate privilege. So it is divided into two parts. So Article 105 of the Indian Constitution deals with the power privileges of the Houses of Parliament, the committees, and it expressively safeguards they have freedom of speech. So number one privilege is they have freedom of speech. Then no member shall be liable to any proceedings in the court. If they have said, if I have said something wrong, so there will be no proceedings, so they can exercise force. Then privileges of each house, its members and committees, it will be determined by the parliament. So parliament has power to decide its members' privileges. Then according to this privilege, no member of parliament or state legislature shall be arrested or in prison during the period of 40 days, and after 40 days the session of the house. So no one will be imprisoned. Fine. Now let's talk about state legislature. That was all about parliament, all the possible MCQs regarding parliament. Next is state legislature. So part 6 of the Indian Constitution deals with state legislature. Article 168 deals with the constitution of legislature in the states. State can also have the legislature. In India, at union we have bicameral legislature. States, we have given choices. If they want 2 houses, they can have 2 houses. If they want only 1 house, only Vidhan Sabha, they can have 1. So it provides for abolition or the creation of legislative council of the states. If they want, they can create legislative council, which is known as Rajya Sabha for the state. It can abolish, it can make, or it can abolish. It can make or it can not make. So states which are unicameral legislature. So there are two terms in state legislature. Unicameral means one house, that is only Vidhan Sabha. At state we call it as Vidhan Sabha. And the second is bicameral legislature. Two houses, which is Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad, two houses, which is Lok Sabha for the state, Rajya Sabha for the state. Fine. So Indian states mostly have only one legislature, Vidhan Sabha, whereas states which have bicameral legislature, they have legislative assembly, Vidhan Sabha, and legislative council, Vidhan Parishad. Usually in India, big states, they have bicameral legislature, because big states, they have more money, and having two legislatures is a little bit expensive for the states. Smaller states cannot afford it. That's why they stick only to one legislature. So Article 170 provides for the composition of legislative assemblies. Their strength shall not be more than 500 and not less than 60. So, for example, smaller states, at least they have 60 members, and even bigger states, they cannot have more than 500 members. However, for Sikkim, Goa, Arunachal, minimum strength shall not be less than 30, because they are very small in population as well as in size in the area. Okay. So the members of state legislative assembly, the MLAs, again, this is exact replica of the Lok Sabha. They are directly elected. We participate in the Vidhan Sabha elections as well, again on the basis of universal adult franchise. And there is a governor, appoint one Anglo-Indian if he/she is satisfied that they are not adequately represented in the parliament. So what are the the qualification require you to become MLA? You should be citizen of India, 25 years of age, and no other such qualification as prescribed by the parliament, such as no office of profit and all. The next, again, the term is 5 years. Again, the term was increased to 6 years, but 44th Constitutional Amendment Act reduced it to 5 years. So 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act increased by 1 year, but next Constitution, Morarji Desai government reduced it to 5 years only. So the Constitution provides for reservation of seats for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes in the state legislative assembly on the basis of the population. So we have reservation in members of state legislative assembly when they are electing it. So this reservation was operated for 10 years. However, duration has been increased by 10 years, and 95 Constitutional Amendment Act, they have been increased to 2020. Then comes Legislative Council, which is also known as Vidhan Parishad. Vidhan Parishad, the second house. So Legislative Council is not mandatory for all the states. It is total the discretion of the state. Total depends on the choice of the state, whether they want to have one house or two house. But there are some states who follow this. There are currently 7 states which have bicameral legislature. Other than that, every state has unicameral legislature. Okay. Karnataka has 2 legislature, UP, Maharashtra, Bihar, Kashmir, Andhra and Telangana. All these 7 states have 2 legislature. Jammu and Kashmir is a UT with legislature, so it chose to keep 2 legislature. Fine. So you have to remember, and you can make a mnemonic. Kumbh Jat. Karnataka, UP, Maharashtra, Bihar, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra and Telangana. Kumjar is the mnemonic to remember bicameral legislature states. Then the power of abolition or creation of legislative council lies with parliament. So if the state want to have it, it is the discretion of the state, but what they have to do, they have to tell parliament that please make for us. So legislative council is a permanent body not subject to dissolution. Again the tenure is 6 years. After 2 years 1/3 members retire, जिनका 6 years का tenure complete हो गया. Strength 1/3 of the legislative assembly cannot be less than 40, but only exception is 36. So how many members are there in legislative assembly? 1/3 of those members must be present in that legislative council, and it is merely an advisory body. It can only advise, that's it, and cannot make amendments to the bill passed by the state assembly. Cannot, however, it can hold the bill for 3 months, but after that they have to give the assent. So they do not enjoy as much power. They do not enjoy as much power as Rajya Sabha has, because Rajya Sabha is at the national level and these councils are at the state level, that too in discretion. Fine. So let's talk about governor now. State executives, governor and chief ministers. Fine. So who is the governor? Governor is to the state what president is to the center, equivalent to the president. So he is the de jure head, which is operation by law, and head of the state. Okay, what are the qualifications? He must be citizen, 35 years age, not the member of parliament, not of any state legislature, and not hold any office of profit. Okay, so how the governors of every state has one governor, and union territories with legislature they have lieutenant governors, LG. So they are appointed by the president. You have to remember for your MCQ. Governors are appointed by the president. Do not face any election. They don't have any elections. President just choose one person to be the governor. They hold their office during the pleasure of the president. If the president is satisfied with their work, they can continue it, and if they are not satisfied, if they have that problem with the president and president is a problem with the governor, so it can be like debarred. But their tenure is for 5 years. But if everything goes right, they have cordial relation with the president, tenure is for 5 years. Then they can also submit their resignation to the president before the completion of the tenure. If I want to resign, so I have to sign a resignation and give to the president. Then oath is justified by the Chief Justice of the High Court, is responsible to administer the oath of the governors. So they have power to call, prorogue or dissolve again both houses of the state legislature or one house of the state legislature. Again, any bill becomes a law, they have to pass through the governor for his or her assent. Fine. Then he can issue ordinance. Just like president, governor is also has the ordinance making power when the state legislature is not in session under article 213, and president's article was 123, and such ordinance ceases to be binding after 6 weeks of the start of the next session. So it will be null and void if the parliament doesn't give stamp on this law. Then as I said, governors exist in the states while LG exists in the union territories with legislature. Currently Andaman Nicobar, Delhi, Puducherry is headed by LGs. The primary function of the governor is to preserve, protect the constitutional and the law. Same as the president. President also preserve, protect and defend the constitution. This is the oath of the governor and of the president. Then Sarojini Naidu was the first female governor of any Indian states. She was UP, and she was the governor of UP from 15th August 47 till 2nd March 1949. She was the first female governor of Indian state. Fine. Now next is last is chief minister. Again, what is Prime Minister to the center? Chief Minister is to the state. Fine. He is head of the government. Leader of the ruling party in the legislative assembly, invited by the governor to become the chief minister to form her own cabinet, which is the council of ministers, and appointed under article 164 of the constitution. So the chief minister recommends the name of the state council of minister and to the governor, who then appoints the same, and the removal of the state council of minister also happens on the advice of. Fine. So a person can be the chief minister without being a MLA, and he or she has 6 months duration to become the member of state legislative assembly. Then again, the usual term is 5 years. He has to resign if the no confidence motion is passed against the government, and if the chief minister resigns, council of ministers dissolve, and if I resign, my entire council of minister has to resign, which means they have to sink and swim together. They sink and swim together. They goes together, and if one goes, if the chief minister goes, everyone has to resign. Then other functions, you preside over the meetings of council of minister, an important role in decision making, and the governor usually summons legislative assembly. It's like if I am the chief minister, I ask the governor to please call the session because I want to have a session. Then she recommends dissolution of the state assembly, and he is a member of the interstate council, national development council, which is presided over the prime minister. So this was all about parliament, union parliament. We discussed union parliament, then state legislative assemblies, legislative councils, and last is state executive, which includes governor and the chief minister. So thank you everybody. I'll see you in the next class.